Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and eCom podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right, everybody. Today's episode is a returning guest, one of my good friends. You probably recognize him. He's all over the internet, talking on podcasts. He's also involved. He is the founder of the billionaire. Kevin, help me with this. The Billionaire Dollar Summit. I think I said that right? The Billionaire Dollar Seller Summit.
No, $1 billion, I believe. $1 billion Summit.
All right, sorry. See? There I go again.
How did I
Friday.
know that?
It's Friday. Give me a break. And I've only attended it and been on it before, so oh God.
It's not
all right.
Good for you.
I'm just so excited because he's going to be on the on the podcast again. Anyways, for those of you who don't know Kevin King, he's not just an Amazon guy. He's been involved with some incredible businesses. He's been on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. You got to listen to him on my I Know This Guy podcast. He dumps some crazy stories about the mob, about Michael Jordan, about tigers attacking models in his studio. It's kind of hilarious, but I guess it wasn't. But anyways, Kelsey, before we get to Kevin, what do we got to say?
Okay, we got to smash those like buttons. I see we got Simon, Andrew, Darwin, and Tony joining us already. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, just throw them in the comment sections. We're going to try and get to them all, but sometimes we get a little overwhelmed with the questions, but we'll do our best. And if we ever do miss any questions, just put them over into the Facebook group. We got a great community there, and they're always looking to help us out with questions. Welcome everyone. I believe that's Roslyn. Hi and welcome. And also, if you're looking for an episode, Kevin's been on numerous times. I think he's on maybe 6 or 7, maybe 8 times already. So if you're looking for any extra Kevin King content, go over to our YouTube page, Lunch with Norm. That's where all the good stuff is. Full episodes are there, daily highlights. And yeah, also our Patreon is starting up. That is a monthly subscription service. Basically, if you're looking for extra content, any value, we got discounts, deals, we got consultation, we got giveaways, a bunch of good stuff over there.
We have Kelsey. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Also, he's got to get paid, so that's why we did it.
Exactly.
All right. So if you have any questions, throw them over into the comment section. We'll get to them right away. And let's get on with the founder of $1 Billion Seller Summit. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. It only took me 3 times to get it right.
And you still didn't get it right.
$1 Billion Seller Summit.
There you go. The BDSS.
That's it. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's Friday. It's Friday, Kevin.
It is Friday. It's Friday.
Hold it just a sec.
It's holiday
just a sec. What was that?
Oh, it is Friday, and we're on Lunch with Norm.
Jeez, I like the mug.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool mug.
No, I was talking about your head with the new hairstyle.
That mug. Nice.
How are you? How's Texas?
Texas is good. Everything is good.
Great. Hey, for those people who don't know who you are and what you do, can you just give us a brief explanation of who you are?
Sure. My name is Kevin King, and I'm the host of the $1 Billion Summit Sellers.
Thingy.
No, I've been doing e-commerce for about 20 some odd years, 25 years, something like that. Selling on Amazon since 2001 in various formats. Run several different businesses that sell on Amazon and off Amazon. Involved in a television production. Produced 30 national television shows prior to getting seriously involved in e-commerce. Do the $1 Billion Seller Summit, which is a high-level event for advanced Amazon sellers. Next one's coming up in September here in Austin. It's once in person per year and once virtual per year. Then also do Product Savants with Steve Simonson. It's a product sourcing and discovery and sourcing program for experienced sellers. And also host the Helium 10 Elite high-level training. And also I'm the creator of the Freedom Ticket, which is the free course that Helium 10 gives out to anybody that has a membership that's looking to learn how to sell on Amazon from A to Z.
I've also seen you frequenting Clubhouse recently.
Yeah, I got pretty heavy back in November, late December and January, February. Was on Clubhouse quite a bit trying that. Lately, not quite as much. Bradley and I do a 1 hour Clubhouse every other Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern time, called the Freedom Ticket, where we just it's basically a live Q&A. So if you're on Clubhouse, be sure to check that out. And then Rana up there from Canada, from your neck of the woods, he does a great event every other Friday, which is not a Q&A, but it's more of a roundtable kind of thing where he brings on a lot of the experienced sellers and just throws some topics out there and everybody discusses them, and those are pretty good too. So I participate in that, and occasionally I'll be on something else, but I'm not quite using it as much as I was originally. I kind of played with it for a while. I still think it's good, but it can be a big time suck. And so, I got to make money somewhere. I love to give back and love to help people, but I got to delegate my time and portion that out to make sure it's utilized properly.
And that's the important thing. Like if you're going into a clubhouse, you have to really understand, it's great to hear. It's great to, like, I love watching Judge Judy. But, if I watch Judge Judy twice a day at 6 and 6:30, hey, it might be nice. I might be learning something about law, but how can I make money from it? And that's the same thing with Clubhouse. So you could go on, at the beginning, you could go on to Clubhouse for 8 hours a session and it would still be going on. But I still like Clubhouse. I think there's going to be different ways of, even for Amazon. I mean, we could even start with that, building a brand on Clubhouse. Have you ever thought about that?
Building an actual, like a brand, like a coaching brand, or an actual brand of products?
An actual product. So let's say that you're in the pet, so bully sticks. We both played around with bully sticks, right? So we might want to start a group, a pet lovers group, a dog group. It could even be, depending on the size of your bully stick, a small dog clubhouse group. And then you could start bringing people in, like a Facebook community. And then I'm not sure if we're at that spot yet, but get somebody to sponsor your group, somewhere to monetize. You're allowed to tip now. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was in beta. I don't know if they've rolled that out completely to everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people have it, but it's not available to everybody. I guess you have to put a few hours in speaking before they'll put out the tip jar. But there are little ways that you can monetize the room while building a brand. And I see a lot of digital guys out there. I see a lot of people in e-com and coaching there, but I don't see brands building yet. And that might be an interesting platform for them.
It could be that, people discussing the I don't know. That'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting test to see, because you don't have the ability to link out or put pictures or interactive content, really. It's just all audio. So like if you're a dog brand, I would wonder how, I can see people coming on there and just talking about their dogs and talking about different tips and tricks or something for their dogs. But how would you, to leverage that? I don't think the tools are quite there on Clubhouse to really integrate seamlessly. You'd have to be begging people to go somewhere a lot, which I don't know is going to be quite as effective.
But you could use your profile. So when you're resetting the room, so in Clubhouse, you're allowed to, or you should, there's a certain etiquette. And one of the things that you would do is reset a room, and you just tell people what the room's about, what to do, possible introduction of some of the panelists. And it could be either, the sponsorship of the room, or it could just be talking about, for more added value tips or advice on dogs, check out my Instagram account or Facebook, and maybe you drive them over there, get them into the group. And then, of course, you can promote to them and drive back to your Facebook page.
Well, I think where the lessons would be is you'd have to study what works in radio advertising, because Clubhouse is very similar to radio advertising, but with a much more targeted market. So, if if you're advertising on your local radio talk show that has a reach of, I don't know, say, 3,000 people at any given time are listening to your talk show on your local radio, in a big city. Out of those 3,000, half of them probably have a dog. And then out of those, some of them really don't care. So it's a very small audience. But if you got 200 people in a Clubhouse that are all dog lovers, that's probably as good as a 3,000 or 5,000 reach audience on a radio station, because you've pinpointed down that niche. And then it's a matter of how do you market, what's effective on radio and direct response to actually get people and take that kind of approach. And something like that actually might work. Or even advertising on other people's clubhouses. If Clubhouse somehow could figure out a way to allow you to have 5-second or 15-second little ads. Because I think a lot of people on Clubhouse, there's a lot of people that are highly engaged, but probably the vast majority of those people are not, it's background noise. They're working, they got it there. While you even see that with people that are on stage. Sometimes the host will say something, hey, Norma, what do you think about that? And it takes you like 10 seconds because you're like,
crickets.
Shuffle your papers, like close out a browser window or whatever, and like, oh, sorry guys, was having trouble with the mute button, or you make some excuse or whatever. So I think figuring that out, and then if you look at some of the software like Direcon or Direcon, you can see there's a lot of people that come in and out. So you might have 100, 150 people in that room, but during the course of an hour or two, you might have 400, 500 people.
We did that yesterday, Kevin. So I don't know if you know this, but I'm involved with the largest club, or it might be second, but it was the largest club last week on Clubhouse with 500,000 members, entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow.
And I've got every Thursday at 1:00, we have our room, our eCom Learn to Sell Online room, which you got to come on. We only have like one guest. It carries on from the podcast over, and the guest talks. It's not like you have 25 people up talking on a panel. But we looked at our stats yesterday, and I think it started off at 169 people. It dropped down, but when I looked at how many people were actually listening, it was 750.
Yeah,
I would never have got that because you only see the stat of, it's going up, it's going down.
But that's a problem, though. If you had 750 and their number was constantly around 150, that means 600 of those people were bored.
Or dropped out because you do migrate to different rooms.
Yeah, they migrate to different, but that means they're bored. So that means that they're not engaging. And that's part of the problem is sometimes on Clubhouse, you get one person, especially if it's a Q&A type of thing, that will hog it for 20 minutes and they're just boring as hell. And people are going to leave. So you got to have the moderation, I think, is critical. I mean, there's a talk show here in Austin that's that a guy does the host of it. There's like 3 people that guests that are co-hosted, but one guy drives it. And when people call in, he's very quick to, like, if they don't get to their point, he's like, all right, thank you very much, next.
Yeah.
You're
so bang on.
And keep the thing moving, because otherwise you'll be like, this guy's voice is annoying me, or this is going to take forever. I'm going to see what else is going on. And people bounce. And so I think that you having 700 people come through there and only 150 pretty much when you're checking it is actually a problem. That means you got to figure out a way to keep them more. You're always going to lose some people. People hit it by accident, or they're just curious or whatever. And some people have other stuff to do. But I think that's critical. That's where there's a lot of people missing the ball right now on the opportunities on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I usually see about a 3-to-1 ratio. So where people will come in and you'll see how many minutes that they'll actually stay. We keep it tight. And, we're talking about Clubhouse today, but I think it's important for people on Amazon to take a look at Clubhouse and take a look at what you can do for your brand on Clubhouse. So I'm just sticking with this subject for a bit longer, then we're going to move on. But with Clubhouse, like you said, you can go to that Direcon or what, just a sec. There we go. That's our sponsorship. There we go. But there are ways to monetize. Here's another way. on Clubhouse where I found it to be very useful, and again, if you're putting up your brand there, is with those 700 people that came in, if I take a look at my Instagram account right after the Clubhouse session, I'll get an extra 100 followers. And so that's helping me build my community as well. So if it's a brand out there, and a lot of people, probably 99.9% of Amazon sellers aren't doing it at all. And I don't know what kind of success rate you'd have, but you're starting to see a few more groups being built out over Clubhouse. Now, have you seen any other type of social media that's working for Amazon sellers?
Pinterest can, depending on what you're selling, Pinterest can work pretty good, and Instagram can work really good for beauty brands, especially. And I'm starting to see more and more on TikTok. There seems to be more and more people doing some product kind of placements stuff, and some people doing a little quick product review type of stuff on TikTok. I don't know how, I have not played with that, so I don't know how effective it is, but I'm seeing some more of that, especially on TikTok.
Yeah, I just saw something about Yeti here. I guess we'll get to that in a second. I can't, you know what? I don't know about you. I can't read a bloody thing. I've got to crunch this down to get into my screen. I got Kelsey having to read. All I see is a word that might catch my eye like Yeti, but I'm an old guy.
I know that feeling. Sometimes I got to put my glasses on to see.
So, excuse me, that snuck up. Sorry, guys. All right. So let's talk a bit more about Amazon. One of the problems that we talked about the last time, still a really unruly problem that I'm seeing are these new ASIN or storage restrictions. Mm-hmm. Got any strategies?
No, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, if you're new, it's actually a benefit for you. If you're brand new, you're launching your first product. Now you're not restricted to 200. You probably can do 500 or 1,000, depending on your account. So that's a good thing for a brand new person. But for someone like me right now, I have a PPE brand, and I'm restricted on shipping. I'm overstocked a little bit on one item, and the other one's about to run out, but I can't ship any. It's telling me, the recommended quantity to ship in is whatever the number is, 813. Ship today, but if I go try to create a shipping plan, it says no, sorry, you're restricted. So that even their systems aren't talking to each other. And so I have to wait, or I have to pull some stuff out. I have to sell some stuff, do a lightning deal or something but most lightning deals don't work for me. Probably 1 out of 20 lightning deals actually work for me. So I don't even waste my money or time really on lightning deals anymore.
I don't.
It's a total waste of money in most cases.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to pull some stuff out. I ended up donating some stuff just to try to free up some space. So it's a balancing act. And I actually had to create a little special spreadsheet, like putting in the cubic storage and the weights and the projected sales. And like, okay, how do I got to balance this? And it's going to take me about 3 months to balance this inventory to where I can actually get a system down to where I can all right, I know every Monday I need to ship in X number of units. But instead of sitting at 500 at a time on one, I'm going to be shipping more regularly. So it's going to be, instead of shipping a pallet or a couple pallets of something in, it's going to be shipping some stuff UPS. Yep. And so that can increase your cost as well, because it's not as efficient. For me, it's much more efficient to ship a pallet, mess with it once, pay those charges once, rather than having to pay little chunks and pieces. So that's part of the change that I'm having to deal with. And yeah, it's a problem. And I know it's going to be interesting. I have a brand new company launching. This company was supposed to start last March, but we kind of put it on hold with the pandemic. But it's launching. It's in the pet space. 2 products in the pet space that are made of recycled ocean waste. And the first 2 products are coming out and should be live in July. And so it's going to be interesting to see how, with a brand new account, how that's going to affect me. And then with the calendar business that I do, it's going to be interesting this year to see how that affects that too.
That one is going to be, I've really never come across the seasonal side, but you're seasonal with these calendars.
Yeah.
How do those restrictions work? Like they're
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be it's got an account limit, and in the beginning, those will come in stock probably late July, early August, which nobody's really buying them then.
right.
So hopefully, I can start at least the sales history. I mean, you're selling a couple a day at that point, but come October, November, December, especially, it's going to be an issue. I mean, like last year, I had to revert to. I think I told this story before, but I had to revert to FBM because Amazon actually de-indexed some of our calendars. And you couldn't even type the ASIN and find them. So they shift them over into an adult category basically, and they just disappeared. No BSR, no nothing, and overnight sales plummeted. So I actually had to put up a second listing, a completely second listing with a different ASIN, different SKU, and just ship them FBM. I didn't relabel anything, but same UPC and everything because it doesn't matter. It's not going in anywhere. It's just coming out of my warehouse. But I had to do that to salvage it. And there's a point where I was actually, me personally, because I was shipping 4 to 5. One day I had to ship like 400 or 500 orders. Just calendars in a sleeve and out. But if I hadn't done that, we could have lost tens of thousands of dollars. So that I may have to do more of that. And luckily that product has the margin. But some people don't have those margins that can absorb that, because Amazon could fulfill that for, I think their fulfillment fee was like $348 or something on those. I can't send those. The postage alone costs $5 and something on that, even at bulk discounted rates, plus the labor, plus the cost of the big envelope that they got to go in, all that. It adds up. So yeah, it's a problem. So I think that the bigger sellers that have multiple SKUs, you got to come up with some sort of just-in-time inventory system, and it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust. And hopefully, Amazon will take note and actually adjust this properly, like they should, for these more successful sellers. But from Amazon's point of view, I understand it. Even though they've added 50 or 60% more capacity, they're still growing, and they don't want to be a warehouse. And they've over and over tried to do things to say, hey, look, we're not a warehouse, we're a fulfillment center. Quit using us to store all your crap. And then since there's so many people getting into the game, a lot of people will just send stuff into Amazon and just let it sit there, and it doesn't sell. So the new sellers order 500 or something, or 1,000 something, send it straight in, and they're selling a couple a day, and that stuff is just sitting up there taking up massive space, and Amazon's having to deal with it. Yeah, they're charging you storage fees and stuff, but at the same time, it's still that's not where the profit's at. They need to be moving that stuff.
Right. I used one of your examples with our mentoring group this week. We were talking about this exact issue, and having a lot of having a lot of sales come in, and then getting oh my gosh, too many cigars, Kevin. So after this, we'll have to go for a cigar. Anyway, if you have a lot of sales and all of a sudden your sales either plateau or go down, you could be stuck with either a removal order, as you were saying the last time. Like, you blew me away when you said you could have got hit with I think it was a $60,000 fine because you were moving all that product. And then all of a sudden there was a dip because they suspended you for, whatever Amazon does, you've already proven that this PPA product, there was no issue with it, but you got a random suspension again, which made your sales go down. And then it was $60,000 if you didn't react, correct?
Yeah. It was very expensive. Yes.
And people have to realize that. And the reason why I'm saying this is a segue. Prime Day is coming up. And if we're pumping a ton of product into Prime Day and we're expecting that there's going to be a lot of sales, are people going to fall into the trap where they have tons of inventory, they use up all their storage to put their inventory in, and then after Prime Day, your sales slide back because we're not in fourth quarter?
Yeah. I mean, Prime Day, people, I see that a lot. You see a lot of people now, their blog posts and different things coming out, or people asking, what are you doing to prepare for Prime Day? What are you doing to get ready? And my answer is nothing. Nothing. What's the point? It's a single day, or it's actually 2 days, or whatever they make it, 3 days, whatever they make it now. Of decent sales, and as long as I have some, what do? I make sure I got some inventory. Make sure I'm not, down to my last 20 units or something. That's all I do. I do nothing else. I don't put any prime banners, any special logos. I don't email my list. If you got a lightning deal, a Prime Day deal of the day, or a lightning deal, then yeah, you need to really make sure you get your inventory in there. But other than that, it's just a nice couple of days of sales. And for me, there's nothing else to do. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you.
This is Norm's fault. We're interrupting you.
Now, coffee, please.
How rude.
So for me, it's not like the fourth quarter. Like, a Prime Day is like there's 45 Prime Days between mid-November and early January. So that's my philosophy on it. Is I don't see it as it's a great marketing tool for Amazon. It's a great reason for people to come in, but usually it levels off because all you're doing is forwarding some sales. Because usually after Prime Day, the next week after Prime Day usually sucks. Sales usually go down because all you're doing is compressing some sales. It's just great marketing for Amazon and selling Prime memberships and whatever. But unless you got deals of the day or something else going on, it's just make sure you have some inventory. And now with the new rules, like you just said,
that scares me.
You got to be a little even extra careful.
Yeah. So with that extra inventory, like you said, the sales slow down. How is that going to affect, the removal orders and playing around with it? So it'll be interesting to talk to you in July after all this kind of settles down, and see how it fares out. But one of the things that we never do, and I think you'd agree with this, there's so many new sellers that'll go out there, and you'll receive an email from Amazon saying, to have better chances of winning the Prime Day battle, increase your bids. And, one of the things that we'll never ever do, is increase our PPC. Now, I do something a little bit different. I won't bid anything at the beginning, very low, and I'll start to gain speed throughout the day and add a little bit while people's inventory is going out. I don't do a ton of Prime Day changes. One of the things do you ever do a pre-launch, Kev?
A pre-launch?
Yeah, a pre-Prime Day launch. So for us...
Yeah, I've done that in the past with my own list.
Yeah, I like that. And what we'll either do is we'll send out just a notification to our list. Is that good? Coffee or tea?
It's actually, I got soda in there.
Oh, nice. Coke Zero?
Yeah. Actually, no. A&W zero right now. Trying
Too many changes, Kevin. Too many changes. But the Prime Day, the pre-launch for Prime Day works extremely well. If you want to let your list know that first of all, that they can go over to Amazon for Prime Day and take advantage, or take advantage now and get an additional 5% off. And that works extremely well. We'll get a lot of pre-Prime Day. I'm not really worried. Like last year, Prime Day absolutely sucked for us. The year before, it was a different story. But I'm not expecting a huge boost in sales.
But anytime you can leverage, like what you just said, anytime you can leverage off of a holiday or an event, can be good. Whether it's Prime Day or, I used to do this a lot in one of my, not Amazon stuff. I haven't done as much, but driving to my own store, I would do, Labor Day specials, Memorial Day specials, Valentine's, President's Day, whatever, some sort of excuse to here's 10% off or 20% off or get a free item. Those kind of sales that are tied around an event can work very well and gives you an excuse to send out an extra message that's technically maybe not as spammy in some people's eyes. Mm-hmm. And what a lot of people don't realize in the catalog business, if think about this, especially in the States, I don't know, it's so much in Canada, but in the States with direct mail, snail mail, the one that the postman brings and sticks in a little box. If you start paying attention, you'll notice after any holiday. So here in the U.S., Monday is a holiday, it's Memorial Day. So watch your mail Tuesday through Thursday of next week if you live in the U.S. And if you're a mail order buyer, if you're someone that's bought from catalogs or mail order in the past, you're one of those types of buyers, you should see an uptick in catalogs arriving on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Because the 3 days after a holiday, that's all timed by those companies on purpose. You'll get the Crate and Barrel catalog, or you'll get the Sharper Image catalog, or you'll get whatever it is. A lot of those will show up. Extra ones, an extra stack of them will show up a couple days within those couple days after a holiday, because it's proven in the direct marketing industry it's one of the best times to actually hit people is actually after a holiday. And so I've never actually tested that fully online, but I actually maybe should. That logic actually may apply there too. So a post Prime Day sale, like you were saying, a pre Prime Day sale, maybe it would be good. Something, maybe you're driving onto your Amazon page or even to your own website, if you have your own list, a post sale. So if Prime Day is on a Tuesday, that following Wednesday and Thursday, that's when you actually do your best discounts. And I've done stuff in the past, like on around Christmas time. I've done stuff where it's 10 days of Christmas, and each day is a different item. I've done it around around Thanksgiving in the U.S., where I'll send out an email on a Wednesday. All right, here's today's deal on Wednesday. Coming tomorrow is another deal, and the deals progressively get better all the way until Monday, until Cyber Monday. Those have worked as well too. I would think that, actually, now I'm thinking, I'm just brainstorming here out loud. A post-holiday sale might actually be even more effective than a pre-holiday one.
Yeah. And if you wanted to even add another layer, if you drive those people back to your website for products that aren't available on Amazon, so let's say it's soap, so maybe your lavender soap and some tropical scents are on Amazon, but you have Dead Sea, mud soap and, a few others that you just can't get on Amazon. You drive the traffic using your list over to your Shopify store. They get this, 15% discount, and they buy 2 or 3. They go over to your shopping cart, and because it's a Prime Day sale, when they go to exit, now they have your coupon for your Prime Day to go back to Amazon and buy your regular soap.
Yeah, something like that could work too.
Yeah, so you get best of both worlds.
Or even tell them up front, you buy 2 soaps from our website, you get a heavy discount or a free soap off of Amazon or whatever.
Yeah. Or
a rebate. We'll give you buy 2 soaps from our site and 1 from Amazon. Send us your Amazon receipt, and we'll refund your Amazon the money for your Amazon buy. But be sure you use this link or search for this stuff. Something like that could be effective. Yeah.
What are you excited about? Anything new? It doesn't have to be Amazon, but like e-com wise, anything that's making you perk up and listen?
What am I excited about?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm excited. I'm excited about live events coming back in the e-com space. Going to Prosper. It's going to be kind of weird because since March of last year, I haven't been on a plane since March of last year.
Yep.
And I haven't really. All I've been doing is working. And I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and it's like I might feel a little bit guilty. Going to a Prosper show for 5 days and not actually. I'm like. I feel like, hey, I'm not getting work done. I've gotten so much work done in the last year that I'm not traveling. I'm not having to take that time. So I'm wondering how that's going to feel. I think it's going to feel pretty good because I need a break. And I'm actually making about around Prosper about a 3-week break because I'm going to drive out to Las Vegas actually, and on the way stop at a few places, and then after that, I got to go to California for about a week to spend with Helium 10 to shoot the next Freedom Ticket. So got to spend about a week out there. So just going to be about 3 weeks of July where I'm not sitting at my desk, and it's going to feel a little odd, I think.
Man, I am trying. If my bloody country will allow me to travel, please, Prime Minister Trudeau, just lift the bloody travel restrictions in July so I can go to Prosper.
Or at least by September, so you become $1 billion seller or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love to go. I mean, I got to say this, your event, you know how to do things right. What got me going was the Illuminati event that you did in Cancun, and it was just holy crap. Yeah, when we walked into that room, it was all done, and I said, who's the person that actually was the event planner? And I heard it was you.
That's Mark.
And
Mark.
Huh?
It's Mark.
Well, yeah, but you were the guy that,
Yeah, it's Mark.
I guess the both of you, and that was a hell of an event. And then, just what you put on in Austin at the $1 billion Seller Summit. I got it. See? BDSS. It's incredible. It is jam-packed with education, fun, and hospitality. So I just got to say that. I mean, we're not a sponsor, or you're not a sponsor. I just have to say that it's got to be one of the best events I've ever been to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So let's get back to being excited. All right. So events, you're excited. I hope that we can meet at Prosper. Anything else? Is Amazon doing anything that you're seeing that, something different right now that you can just jump on?
I mean, they've always got the little, video is up and coming. We've talked about the Amazon posts in the past.
Yeah.
Those are kind of hit and miss to me. I still think there's going to be good opportunity coming in video. I think it's still got a ways to go. And some of the, I'm not 100% sold on Amazon Live yet. I know some people are doing okay there, but I don't know that ever it's for the masses just yet. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to get there. I see Amazon still growing. I see the opportunity is still huge. Every week I'm still looking for products because I do that for Product Savants. I have a system that I do, using brand analytics and stuff, and but there's still plenty of opportunity. People are saying, you hear this all the time of it's too late, or too many Chinese sellers, or there's too much of this, and yeah, that's true for some things, but there's still plenty of opportunity out there to make money and on this platform, and it's amazing what you can do. And when I'm looking for this, we don't consider anything if it doesn't do at least $10,000 a month in sales. That's the bare minimum.
Right.
So, some people will happily launch things that will make them $2,000 or $3,000 a month in sales and $1,000 profit, string together 10 or 15 of those. That can be a nice little business, but we're not looking for that because it's just not worth our time for the way we do this. Because of the amount of effort that we put into the sourcing and the vetting and everything, it's not cost effective. So we'll leave that to other people, but at the range of $10,000 in sales per month and up, with 25 to 40% profit margins or net contribution margins, there's still a lot of opportunity, tons.
Yeah.
And so anybody that tells you otherwise doesn't know what they're doing,
Right.
or doesn't know what they're talking about, or is approaching it wrong. So that I see that as a good thing. And then, I'm excited to be launching a new company. That we funded this company and everything about a year ago. We set this thing up. Was actually Scott Dietz from Northbound helped us set this up in 2019. We had the investment. It's a significant investment that was put into the company. It evolved a little bit because during the formation, right after we formed the company, one of the biggest outdoor brands came to us and said, "Hey, we want you to take the license for our pet products, especially on e-commerce, because we've tried some other people, they don't know what they're doing, so why don't you guys do it?" So we have a big brand that's involved, that has a lot of big athletes, and then since these products are all made out of recycled ocean waste, they're an ocean-based brand. Beach ocean-based brand, so it's a perfect fit. So we're kind of excited to see what happens with their influencers that have 2 million followers on Instagram. As soon as they post pictures with our products with their dogs and talk about it, to see really what kind of impact that influencer marketing actually has on an Amazon business. People always talk about going out and convincing an influencer to do something or paying them to do something. This is going to be basically, free, and they're really good products. So we'll see, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think one of the big opportunities on Amazon is exactly what we're doing, is branding. and not creating your own brand, but partnering with existing brands under license. So that's what we have. We have to pay about 8% of our top line sales to as a fee to these guys. But we're going to see, is it worth actually paying that 8%, the extra value that we're getting because of their brand name, people already searching for it, already knowing it, already trusting it. Is it going to be worth it? They're already in Nordstrom's and Dick's Sporting Goods and all the pets places, and they could just make a phone call and say, hey, add this product to the line. And so we'll see. We're going to see. It's a good test, but I think this could be part of the future for a lot of people. Is I went with Paul Miller to the licensing show a couple of years ago. He's done well with licensing on some of his products, and I saw some good opportunity there. And I think a lot of Amazon sellers, they don't understand that or they don't get that. But if you're putting out a flashlight, and there's tons of flashlights already for sale on Amazon, but there's room for you to come in there and you're like, yeah, if I was the 10th best selling flashlight on Amazon, I could still do $30,000 a month in sales. Maybe, but what if you were the U.S. Army, tough and rugged flashlight, and you had the U.S. Army logo on the side of that flashlight? Could you bump that up to being the 3rd or 4th best seller just by having that license and actually paying a royalty? Maybe. So maybe you should go after that license. And so I think there's big opportunity in the future for Amazon sellers doing that. And I'm about to find out if there's really any value in that or not.
Right. And, one of our listeners, I think she's probably listening today, Marcia Reese, she's had $1 billion in sales with Power Ranger licenses.
Yeah.
Just licensing is another way, another look, or another way to provide even higher perceived value. So you can go on, there'll be a flashlight there for $10, but because you have U.S. Army on there, it could be $25. So you might be paying that 8% back, but you could go at a higher perceived value because it's perceived as a higher quality.
I mean, we're doing that. I mean, one of our products that we're selling, one of the best selling brands on Amazon is in the $60 range.
Yep.
For this product. It's for dogs. And it's about a $60 item for dogs. And ours is going to come out at $75 because there's two reasons. One, we have a higher cost because of the licensing fees, but it also has the brand name behind it, so people should actually pay more for it. And then we actually made a lot of significant improvements to the product. It's a really kick-ass product. So I think it's not only going to be the most expensive, it's probably going to be the best on the market. So it's just how fast can we gain traction and take away. And the top seller's got 10,000 reviews or something like that.
Right.
That doesn't scare me. I think we can beat them. And it's going to be, but at the same time, when you're dealing with a license, these guys are fanatics. Like we did a package insert or a little tag actually, and said that everything's got to go through them for approval. So it's not, you just can't do whatever you want. And we had to change the fonts, it's no big deal, but they had these are the only 5 fonts you can use in anything that has our logo on it. So we had to change one of the fonts that we were using. And then they were nitpicking the whole thing, move this image 2 pixels to the left, please, on the printed form. Okay. And so they were nitpicking it pretty good. So it's going to be interesting to see once we put up our Amazon listing, how much they're going to try to influence us there. And that's where it could be a problem, where I'm like, look, you came to us for a reason. We know Amazon. We'll go by your rules and use the fonts when we can and, all this stuff, but let us create the listing. We know what we're doing with keywords and the way it's written and whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see how much micromanaging they try to do there to protect their brand. But I understand that. It's their brand. They want a very consistent image and a very consistent message across everything. But it's going to be a little interesting test.
You said something about 10,000. You look for products that can sell at least 10,000, and that other people might not want that. They might be satisfied with 2,000 or 3,000. One of the things that I want to touch on is mentoring or coaching. Like you are the host of Helium 10 Elite, more for advanced sellers. but it's so important. I know going back to the Illuminati, we really didn't have a chance to talk back then. And but one of the things I was saying is that just coming to that event, I could see that if you're a new seller or somebody that's just coming out, where you're having troubles with 3,000 to 5,000 in sales, by doing one thing different or a couple of things different, you can take 10 or turn it into 20. But a lot of people just need that guidance to just get over the hump. They don't realize if they set up their PPC this way, or if they did, some other form of marketing. So I see, like Amy Weiss is here. She's got a great coaching program. I know that you have Helium 10 Elite as well as BDSS. But do you want to give me some information or your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you got to look at the total overall market, though. So, I mean, there's some markets where you look at the product on Amazon, you pull up X-Ray or something, and the top 10 sellers are all doing, I'm just making this up, say in the neighborhood of $2,000 each in total sales. That's a $20,000 market, basically, because everything below that really doesn't count too much. So that's a $20,000 market. So can you take that by doing some additional things, ramping up your PPC or making a better product or whatever? Can you take your 2,000 and basically eliminate 4 or 5 of those guys and take their $2,000? You might be able to take some of that. You might be able to get that 2,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 by having a better product, better pricing. But it depends on the market. So one of the things that I do, like when I'm looking for these products, is I have a special spreadsheet that I've created in Excel. Where I actually, I can just, I think I might have mentioned this in the past, but I mentioned this to Leo I think I was on the Freedom Ticket. I talked about this a little bit just recently, and he was like, holy cow, that's a smart idea. But what I do is I download the last 3 months of brand analytics data. So just go on Amazon, download, it's 1 million records or whatever. So right now it's May, so you can do April, March, and February. Those would be the 3 most available recent full months. I mean, you could do it however you want. You could do it by weeks or quarters or however you want to do it, but that's how I do it. I download those, and then I had someone over in India, I found someone off of Upwork that actually wrote me a special little custom program that uses a language called R, which is like an artificial intelligence language. And she runs it through some stuff that she did there, and then it gets imported to Excel for the final product. And we add all these columns. And one of the things that we look for in the spreadsheet is trends. So I'm looking for one of the columns that we create is like, what is this trending up? Is it trending down? Or is it fairly steady? Or is it inconsistent? There's 4 different criteria. So something that has an SFR of 100,000 this month, and the next month it's 80, and the next month it's 60, that's trending up because it's constantly becoming more popular. Something that's opposite of that's going from 60 to 100 to 200, that's trending down, that keyword. Or one that's bouncing around, maybe it's 100, then it goes to 90, then it goes to 110. That's fairly steady. There's not huge shifts. It's going up and down. There's not huge shifts, but one that goes from 100 to 50 to 700,000, that's inconsistent. And we look for those things. Then we look for the conversion rates. Which ones have a 0%, and especially in the second and third spots, second and third ASINs, which ones have 0% conversion rates? That's most likely manipulation, most likely. So those get eliminated. And then we look for we take the words that are in the titles and and compare that to the brand analytics words, and how many in the whole SFR range does this phrase appear in different ones. And we have a column that's created for that, and we see how that's going. We look for ones that there wasn't an SFR in February, but there all of a sudden was one in March. And then in March it went up a little bit, or went down a little bit more, so it's trending up. That's a new keyword that's emerging. Maybe it came in at 900,000, now it's at 600,000. So that's something we got to pay attention to. So those are all criteria that you really need to make strong. And we do some other stuff with this whole thing too. But I can eliminate 1 million SFR keywords by running this through this system down to about 1,500 that I can scroll through, and I can find probably 200 product opportunities just like that in an hour after it's run all this stuff. Now, there's more work that's got to be done beyond that. You start with these, and you go look, put them through X-ray, see what the competition is, see what the review rates are, see what that kind of stuff is. But it eliminates a lot of the work, and you can really zero in on opportunities. And you got to source it. And sometimes half of what we source for Product Savants doesn't make the cut because either there's 80% of the factories are selling it direct on Amazon from China. So our price and what they're selling on Amazon, there's no margin for us. So that eliminates some. Other times there's duties or tariffs or some sort of other issue. So about half of them get eliminated, or it's not quite enough margin. We just don't feel comfortable with it. So another half get eliminated. So at the end, but still at the end of the day, you can find a lot of really good stuff. And it's amazing me how many great opportunities there are. It's just most people don't know how to look at that data.
Right.
And to look at that and see. And so back on your initial thing of something that's 1,000, 2,000, can you learn some techniques of PPC or some other outside traffic or doing Prime Day, post-Prime Day spells or any of these things we talked about? All those can help for sure. But the market's got to be there. The demand has to be there. And you got to be able to take it away, either create new demand, which is you either create it or it's being created organically by the news or by celebrities or something, or by some post that went viral on Facebook, or you got to steal it from whoever's already got it. And so if you can find an angle there to do all that, then great. And we see that there's a product we just found for Product Savants that's in the it's in the drinking space for people that maybe have like coffee and tea and cappuccinos and that kind of thing. And the market is hugely saturated for these types of products. And you go on Amazon and the top 10 guys have thousands or tens of thousands of reviews, but there's a particular angle that if you take this particular angle on this, and we found a factory that can do this, and you sell one of these things at a premium price, we think you can cut a little piece of the market there and just tear it up. It's kind of like the whole bully sticks example I've given in the past. There's tons of those types of opportunities as well. But that takes marketing and positioning and branding, and a lot of people that are selling e-commerce aren't very good at that.
Correct. I have to agree.
And patience.
But that's why they need that coaching side or the mentoring side. So, all right. I think there's a bunch of questions, Kels. Just a couple.
just a couple, yeah. All right. So first off, do we have a cutoff time? Kevin, are you good for time or?
I've got 37 seconds.
37 seconds.
I'm good.
You know what? When next time Kevin comes on, I think we should do that Hammer song, and instead of da 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 da, what is it? It's Kevin time. It's not Hammer time.
Yeah, that's what Bradley always jokes that Manny Ant used to say this when he was doing the podcast for Helium 10, and Bradley now they say the same thing. Like, Kevin, you're like the perfect podcast guest because I can sit down, ask one question, and then I can leave. I can go drink a coffee, go to the bathroom, go watch an episode of Friends, and come back, and you're still talking. I don't have to.
Well, that's what I'm doing now. So it's all you. It's Kevin time.
So let's get it started. It's Kevin time. From Rad, what do you think about $30 UPC code?
The new UPC thing, is that what you're referring to?
I believe so.
Yeah, the GS. I think he's referring to the GS1 one, where it's like a little bit cheaper license. I don't see a problem with that. As long as it's GS1, you're getting it straight from GS1. I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, Brad, if you want to clarify at all, just let us know. From Grip It Sleek, question for the King. What do you think of fulfillment networks?
I'm not real familiar with it. I don't know. Do you have any, Norm? Do you have any experience, or have any of your clients Shopify fulfillment network? I'm not.
I have clients that use it. I'm not tied into it, so I can't really give too much information.
I think it probably has some good potential from what I've seen, but I don't know enough about it to give you an opinion.
Okay. And again, about Shopify, did Google partner with Shopify?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a big announcement this week. This is going to be big. So, yeah, we'll be reporting a lot more about Google and Shopify and how that partnership's going to work.
Okay, great. This is from Simon. With inventory limits causing higher UPS 3PL costs, combined with sea freight spikes, weak currency, and higher material costs, will it shake out the weak sellers and leave 2022 for the serious guys?
It's going to shake out some weak and some experienced sellers. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are underestimating, especially newer people, their 3PL and their freight costs. So yeah, I think a lot of people, but does that shake them out? No, the problem is they still compete and they still come in and they're still competing against you. And then they realize that they're not going to make any money, so they just try to blow the stuff out at cheaper prices. So the consumers win, but you don't win. So I see. I don't think there's going to be it's going to shake people out, but as soon as you shake the tree, there's some more apples growing on the tree right away. So I don't think it's going to it's pop a mole.
Okay. All right. From Faye, just a clarification. What's a Prime Day pre-launch?
Oh, all that is, it's nothing official, but all that is prior to Prime Day. So whatever date that's going to be, I start emailing my clients or my customers just early, a week early or 2 weeks early, just letting them know that I either have a Prime Day special going on or take advantage of to purchase my product before Prime Day. And I can either drive them over to my Amazon listing or over to my e-com listing. So all it is just driving traffic before Prime Day to take advantage of the sale.
Okay. From Darwin, I'm moving a listing of mine to another of my Seller Central accounts. Will the algorithm of that listing stay the same?
It should, as long as it's the same SKU. It should carry all the history over. You might actually get a new honeymoon period on it, depending on how you make that move. But yeah, you should be okay on that. I mean, that's what the aggregators and stuff, a lot of them are doing all the time.
Okay. This is kind of a comment from Kyle. I've heard post-holiday sales, at least for Christmas, are very effective. I wonder if it has to do with people using gift cards and cash they were gifted.
Yeah, the day after Christmas is usually the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are usually pretty weak. And depending on what day of the week Christmas, the 26th is, Boxing Day in some places, depending on what day of the week that is, it can be hit or miss. But one of the best times for 25 years when I'm running my own membership sites and my own websites outside of Amazon is that the week between Christmas and New Year's was a very, very, very good week to actually do sales and promotions, whether you're selling a course or you're selling a membership to something or you're selling a physical product. Those are very good. A lot of people always think that on the holidays on Amazon it's fourth quarter, but it's fourth quarter and a half, because for me, into mid-January and even late January, sales are still really strong, especially if you're selling something that's New Year's resolution related, weight loss or something like that. Those really boom in January, but even just normal average everyday things have strong sales at the end of December and into January. And some of that is exactly what you're saying there. It has to do with gift cards that people are redeeming. Also has to do with returns. A lot of people get stuff that they're returning. Instead of taking the money back, they're just picking something else that they actually want. And hopefully that's something you're selling.
Yeah, and we've seen very similar up to January 15th is usually strong sales.
Okay, great. From Amy Weiss, do you think the days of Amazon-only brands in more saturated categories are over? For example, flashlights?
Amazon. Oh, what do you mean Amazon-only brands? You mean brands that Amazon's owned, like the 100-something brands that Amazon's created, like Amazon Basics? Or do you mean people who have just created a brand and they only sell it on Amazon? I'm not sure what Amazon-only brands means there. But no, there's opportunity in virtually every category if you have the right product and the right angle.
And money.
And money, yeah. I mean, just to go find a flashlight in China and stick your name on it and throw it into the flashlight category, you're probably not going to have very good luck. But I don't know that's category specifically, but there's probably an angle in there that, like we talked about with the U.S. Army, something like that could be a great angle.
Oh, Amy's talking about being a one-legged stool. So if you're only selling on Amazon.
Oh, okay. If you're only selling on Amazon, no. I think there's a lot of people out there that say you need to create a brand, you need to diversify, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't think that's true. I think that that strengthens you if you can do that. If you're experienced at this game, or you come from a background of that, I think it's wise to consider doing that. But for the average person who just saw Norm and Tim's Instagram post about it, here's three key things to make
Keep
money
bringing that up.
Amazon, Amazon, and they're like, how do I do this? I want to quit my job. I've been working, as a dental assistant for the last 10 years, and now I want to go out on my own and have some freedom. Someone like that should focus solely on Amazon, in my opinion. They should not be trying, let me get Amazon going and Shopify going and get my brand here and do that. They need to take one thing at a time. But someone like myself or Norm or Amy, who's got some experience in this, we started new brands, like I'm starting this new pet brands. Yeah, we're doing full-on branding. And we're not just doing Amazon. Amazon is a major part, but we're doing wholesale, retail, we're doing Shopify, we're doing sporting goods stores, we're doing a bunch of stuff. But I have the experience, and we've got a 7-figure budget on this this company, not on this one product. It's not 7 figures on one product, but the company is well funded and got good people. So it's set up, and like I was saying, we worked with Scott Dietz in the beginning earlier. I didn't finish that, to set everything up to sell. So this company is being built with the sole intention of selling it in 2 to 3 years. So we made sure our operating agreement and our forecasting and everything from day one is spot on, so that we can build on that. And once it comes time to sell, we're not having to go back and redo things or change things or alter things. So that's my take on this. I think too many people get sidetracked and stretched too thin and don't have the resources and the money to do it right.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, just before this phone call, I was talking to Kelsey, and you have to at least try to become the expert. Try to understand. And Amazon's a big beast, but get to understand it before you move on. If you don't, and you're just taking Shopify and Walmart and this and that and every other platform, you'll never be good at any of them.
And there's restriction. I mean, there's downside. There's risk on Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon, you're playing in their sandbox. They make their own rules. They can sink your business overnight, and they sunk one of mine. I mean, one of my businesses, the PPE business. We just recently we have one of our products of wipes. They're really good quality wipes for the hands. They're made in Vietnam, isopropyl alcohol, 5-star reviews. I mean, we haven't done anything. No email follow-ups, no nothing. That's just totally organic. A lot of a 5-star average on these products. Been selling them since December on Amazon. Just in March, we made one update to the title. And didn't put any bad keywords or anything. Just need to rearrange a couple words using the Maldives technique from Bradley to zero in on. And the listings got suspended. And saying that these are restricted products. You see the dog page. These are products that were doing 4 figures a day. Overnight, shut down. And I do the appeals. Sorry, it's restricted. The concern team is looking at it. Send us some documentation. They come back, say, sorry, denied. Our SMEs, special merchandise evaluators, or there's some term they have evaluated this, and these are not allowed for sale. You need to provide EPA documents and this, and like, no, this is not EPA. We've gone through this 7 times before with Amazon Legal. And we send them the letters from Amazon Legal, the letters from the state of Texas Agricultural Commission saying these are not regulated by EPA. They're for the hands, the whole night. They're FDA registered. Still denied again. And then I finally was able to get someone involved at Amazon that I think maybe kind of helped accelerate it a little bit, and I didn't give up. And I got a notice today on May 28th. These went down on May 7th or 8th, I think. Now they're back up. So for 3 weeks, these were down for no freaking valid reason, zero. That they've already gone through the vetting process multiple times. But just the algorithm just kicked them down, and then the guys in India don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And so that is the danger of selling on Amazon. That's happened enough times on this product that it makes you scared to even do a launch, another launch or another something. Like we could waste all this, we could spend a bunch of money doing search, find, buys to get the ranking, and then boom, overnight, back down again. That is a danger of selling on Amazon. But even regardless of that danger, the opportunity is immense. And so, but what happens, we're on Shopify, we're on other places, we're on several other places, but the sales during those 3 weeks are a joke compared to what they would have been on Amazon, no matter what I do. So I think in that time frame, we sold 5 units off of our Shopify site. And then there's restrictions on, certain products like PPE. You can't advertise that on Facebook. Google has certain restrictions on it. So you're limited in what you can do there as well. So business is a challenge, but Amazon is, despite its problems and its pain in the ass stuff, it's still hands down the best place to do stuff. And any business carries risk.
When you were, just to give people an idea, when you launched that product, you were doing 40 grand a day in that product, weren't you?
Yeah, we were doing without even having the product, with it being like a 3-week shipment.
So imagine being shut down for 3 weeks. And so these are the things, when we talk about capitalization, we never touched on this show, but we've talked about it before. Being properly capitalized, you want to make sure that you have the cash flow to maintain in case something like this happens. So just something to consider.
We have a seller's funding loan on this company, but we took a loan in October of last year because the sales were going so well. We're like, we need more, and so we took a seller's funding loan. That has to be paid back every 2 weeks, whether they don't care if Amazon shuts you down or not. So you got to make sure that you can cover that because you personally have to guarantee those things. So those are you got to be properly capitalized, and it causes problems. I've had to dump more money into this company. It's lost. It's lost over $1 million. This has not been profitable at all. We're getting out of it, but we're trying to just salvage what we have, and we're still fighting Amazon on it. But even despite all that, it doesn't sour me on Amazon. I'm like, screw this Amazon. I'm just going to go start doing Shopify or drop shipping or something. No, I'm super. Norm asked me earlier about what are you excited about. We're launching another company that's launching initially on Amazon. And we're going to go retail in other places, but the initial feedback, the initial testing ground, let's see, make sure everybody likes this product is on Amazon.
All right. Next question.
From Manny. Love the value so far. Question, where do I put a keyword that I want to be indexed for?
Number one place is your title. So number one place would be the title. Second place would be your first 3 bullet points. Then your search terms on the back. And then anywhere else on your listing you want to put a description, wherever. But
Hold it. Kevin, you just said title, bullet points, search terms. Has the algorithm changed? Because it used to go over to the search terms before the bullets.
I don't know. Nobody really knows what the algorithm is.
Right.
In my experience, subject matter used to be more second, but now the subject matter is discontinued in a lot of places. But I usually put the bullets and then the search terms. But some people may say it's the other way around, and maybe it is the other way around, but I don't think there's enough difference. The title is definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's a perfect example. If you want to, this is what got me in trouble with the one that just got suspended, just changing the title. And because I changed the title, it probably went through some sort of algorithm check again. Like, oops, this is wipes, these are EPA. It just triggered something. So that's a lesson there. Is like, unless there's a major advantage to be gained on an existing product, don't fuck with it. But what we were doing was actually keyword based. And so I was using a version of what Bradley did on Helium 10 called the Maldives technique. And so what I did is I took the brand analytics data and I downloaded it for the keyword. Let's just say it's hand wipes. Let's use the word hand sanitizer. So it's a hand sanitizer. So I punch in hand sanitizer into brand analytics, and I don't remember the exact results, but there's 50 some odd keywords that came up in that had an SFR with the word hand sanitizer in it. And then what I did is I went over to the Chrome browser, pulled up Amazon, typed in each one of those manually, typed in each one of those 50 keywords one by one, and then ran X-ray on it. So I type in hand sanitizer gel, for example, and results would come up. I hit X-ray from Helium-10, and then on X-ray there's a filter there where you can filter keywords in the title. So I would hit that little filter, and I would type in hand sanitizer gel, or whatever the keyword is that I just searched for, and have it filter and show me all the ones on page 1 that have that exact phrase in their title. So like hand sanitizer gel exactly in their title. And it would come back, and that one probably, 80% of them did. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty competitive keyword. I just kept doing that all the way down to SFRs. I get down to an SFR, SFR of, 150,000, which is decent search volume. It's not tremendous, but it's decent enough. It's got 150,000 search volume, and it's hand sanitizer, mini hand sanitizer party favors, for example. Mini hand sanitizer party favors. So it's little small bottles that people can throw as a party favor or something for getting back together parties or in the school parties or whatever. That keyword didn't exist a year ago, but now it's an SFR. And so I do that one. A whole bunch of results come up for all these little small bottles. But then I do the X-ray trick where I type in an X-ray and do the filter by title. I think it's 1 or 2 had that exact phrase in their title of all 60 of them or whatever. I'm like, that's an opportunity. I'm on page 3 or 4 for that keyword right now. Then we do a test, and when we take that phrase, change my title from now it says mini hand sanitizer, and let's just add mini hand sanitizer party, add the word party favors to it, and put it in my title and see what happens. And then run some PPC on that exact phrase too. I did that, made the change, ran some PPC, got a couple sales. I went from page 3 to page 1 in 3 days with only like 3 sales on 150,000 SFR keyword, which corresponds to what's that, 2 or 3, 5,000 searches a month. It's not huge, but it's enough. It went to page 1 just by having that exact phrase. That's the importance, back on that guy's question or person's question, of where those keywords go. And that's an opportunity if you want to do that and look for some of the holes on Amazon. That little trick could actually take a product. We're talking about $1,000, $2,000 product that Norm was talking about earlier and double the sales to 4,000. Doing something like that might be your ticket.
Very good.
Awesome. Okay.
Hey, Kels. So
yes.
One thing we haven't mentioned is the Wheel of Kelsey today. So running at the end of the podcast. But anyways, if you're interested in the Wheel of Kelsey, I was talking to Afalabi a little earlier today, and he is going to be giving away a 30-minute consult on product innovation. So if you have any thoughts of innovating your product, Kevin is a huge product innovator. I've mentioned it a million times on this podcast about, some of the things that he's done to just make changes so it's not the same flashlight that you're selling. So if you're interested in having and spending 30 minutes with Afalabi, just enter Wheel of Kelsey, and he'll spend some time checking it out. If you have questions, even if you don't have a product, he'll be helping you out, try to figure out what's the best way to innovate your product. Okay, so Wheel of Kelsey, if you tag 2 people, you'll get entered twice.
Okay, and making sure everyone knows it's not Kevin King consultation, it's Afalabi. So just be aware. Okay, from Adriana, what do you guys recommend to find a good coaching program? I know many offer a community, Facebook groups, or group sessions, but I think the one-on-one coaching is what can help new sellers the most.
Yeah, it's great.
There's a perfect balance.
Yeah, it's great if you have someone that can actually answer your questions directly, or can coach you. There's tons of them out there. You just got to find someone that you're familiar with. I know Norm, you and Tim kind of do a little bit of that with your private label Legion. I know Brandon Young has a group where he does some of that with the Freedom Ticket. I don't do one-on-one. I don't like Adrian. I wouldn't get on the phone directly with you if that's what you're looking for. I just don't have time. But I do a weekly Q&A call for all the Freedom Ticket students who are in the Freedom Ticket at Helium 10. If you have the Freedom Ticket Extra, there's a small monthly charge for that, but it's about an hour to 2 hours every Monday, where it's just something like this, where everybody asks questions, and we stay until all the questions are answered. Nobody gets skipped. No questions get skipped. So that's one way. There's other people I see posting on Facebook who offer these types of things.
Amy Weiss, she's on today.
Weiss here, I think it's on here, does it. There's a lot of people. Some of them know what they're doing. Some of them aren't worth a shit. I guess you can take some recommendations from some people. Call them, see who you're comfortable with. Don't commit to something long term if you don't have to, and see if you're comfortable with them. See if they're giving you value. If they're giving you value, then that's great, and it's worth the value and what you're spending. That can definitely be good.
Yeah, Sharon also, Sharon Evan, she's also into the coaching side. With what we're doing, we don't have. It's hard to take on a one-to-one, and that's why, like for Tim and I, we put on the group mentoring. So it's a group environment where you can ask your questions to get it done, just like what Kevin's doing. But one-on-one is very hard to do. It's all about time. And if you have 10 clients, how do you service those clients, or 20 clients? So anyways, what you're saying, Kevin, is 100%. Make sure your personality fits into the group. If it's a group mentoring style program or with the coach, make sure you listen, because you could be spending a lot of money if you don't know that personality of the coach, if you don't get along. So it's important to go and do some research.
I mean, the prices are all over the range for it.
Right.
I tried it a few years ago because I kept getting asked, and if I check my DMs right now, there's probably a bunch in there. I'm not on LinkedIn. That's one of the reasons, because too many people reach out. But
I thought you blocked me.
You have blocked, but
Yeah.
I was tired of you sending me pictures of yourself. I was like, what is it? But anyway, I was charging $1,000 an hour, and people were paying it, but it's still, I had to look at my time, because usually I felt bad just doing an hour, because I want to help the people. So it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. And then it they always have follow-up questions or have additional things, and there's a responsibility there. So it's like, do I want to make that my business, or do I want to do other things that are more scalable? And so for some people, it makes perfect sense. Let's make coaching my business, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to pay my bills, and I'll sell a little bit of stuff on the side. But for me, the problem with the coaching is you can't sell that. You're working for your money. You're trading hours. You're trading hours for dollars. Versus if I go and I build a business, like this pet business that we're talking about, and Amazon is running it 24/7 for me and shipping and doing everything, and all I got to do is spend that same 3 hours that I would have been talking to someone for a week on the phone and doing something on Amazon. Can I make more than $3,000 for those same 3 hours? And the answer is unemphatically yes. Mm-hmm. So I was better off taking that time and doing 3 hours of something on Amazon that's going to make me, for those 3 hours of whatever, the keyword thing that I just gave an example, that's going to make me over time, maybe in this year, make me an extra 20 grand this year in sales. But when I go to sell the company, on top of it, 3 years from now, it's going to make me another 50 grand in sales price. That's 80 grand instead of 3 grand. That's where it's better. So that's how I look at it. And, I have 8 different businesses that I'm involved in. So that's I have to delegate my time, and I work smartly. And so that's how I approach it. And so someone else, has that time, and that's what they want to do. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm doing this with Norm. I love answering the stuff, but I'd rather just give it away for free for a little while than to have that other commitment.
Right. Okay. Next question.
Okay. Let's see, from Nathan. Would Kevin ever offer an influencer Joe Rogan deal, which deal where the influencer gets a percentage of profits and even owns part of your company?
Potentially, yeah. If it's the right influencer, yeah, absolutely.
Joe Martin was on. So he's the guy from BoxyCharm, and he teamed up with a bunch of celebrity influencers. And also we had Ruby Mendez on, and they've teamed up with Snow with Conor McGregor and a bunch of them. So you can, like, Joe Martin just sold his company for $500 million to Etsy. So teaming up with influencers can be major.
Yeah, you see that sometimes on Shark Tank. I don't know if any people watch Shark Tank. You'll see these people come in there and they're like, you give me $100,000 for 5% of my company, and then the sharks are like, well, no, I'll give you the $100,000, but I want 50% of your company or 25% of your company. And they're like, no, I just can't give away that much. This is my baby. I've got too much work in this. A lot of times that's stupid. So the right influencer, giving them a bigger piece or getting them involved can make everybody a lot more money.
Okay. Let's see. There's one about your email platforms you use. From
How many more questions,
Andrew. We got 5 or 6 still, but we can end it. Do you have a number in mind?
1:30.
Okay. All right. From Andrew Smith, Kevin, what is your email automation platform of choice?
Actually, I use right now. I use something called FormGet. It's an Indian-based company. It's like $50 a month. I know Mailchimp is another one, but I use actually FormGet for all my email automation.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, most people have it. FormGet, they have a section of it that's called MailGet, GET, MailGet. That's what I use. It's not the most sophisticated, with all the bells and whistles that some of the others have, but it does what I need to do.
What makes it $50 a month? Like Mailchimp is free, or they have a $29 version, or higher. You get all these things. You get form builders. You get mail. It's a whole packet. It's a whole suite. It's kind of like getting 10. Okay.
It's not just mail. And I don't use a lot of the other stuff. I use the MailGet. But one of the things that I like is I can use. There's some advantages to it on some of the SMTP and SES stuff that I can do that some other tools don't have, and I'm not as limited to.
All right.
Okay, so I think we'll do maybe one more question.
Sure.
Let's see. Try and pick. Okay, from Adriana. Our product suffered the Amazon glitch from a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't got our ranking back on all keywords and lost index on money. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I know some people took advantage of that. I think Leo and Destiny from Better AMS, they're talking about how they took advantage of this glitch and actually raised their PPC during that time, and actually able to get a lot of ranking when it came back. Yeah, so I don't have this exact answer for you on if you lost your ranking. It could have been someone else took advantage of that time frame, like Leo and Destiny, where they pumped up their volume and kind of overbeat you. But I don't know. What would you say they should do, Norm?
That's a tough one. I mean, you might want to play around with your title. It is tough because there's different ways that you can do it. Some people take advantage of putting out rebates or search, find, buy, throwing them against the keyword. You might want to just go back, play around with the PPC, see if you can do something there. But one of the things you might want to check is to see if your bloody word is indexed. So we found that some of the ranking didn't come back. They weren't indexed. So we had to play around with it again in the listing to get them to index properly. Didn't happen very often, but we did see it on the rare occasion. But I don't know. That's all I have to say about that one.
Okay, so we can start into the Wheel of Kelsey if you want.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just
So
press
get
that
ready.
button.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
right. So thank you everyone who entered the contest. Of course, if we missed any questions, you can always add it into our Facebook group, Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. And we highly recommend you all join. It's always a good place to our plans. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Is that Oleg?
No, Nick's stuff.
Oh, all right, Nick.
Good job, Nick. Come on.
Right. So that is the
Very
30-minute consultation with Afalabi from Whole New Worldwide.
And by the way, Afalabi is doing his lives on, when are they? Wednesday mornings?
It's Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. And they're bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks.
He's doing a good job at that. You know, he
does great.
Have you ever seen Afalabi talk or speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did he's just starting to do the Amazon Lives. He's doing a good job.
Cool.
So, okay. So Nick, I think you've won before. So just reach out to Kelsey at k@lunchwithnorm.com. We are having a little bit of problem. I don't know what it is with our email server. We might have to send it to what address, Kels?
Receiving emails haven't been an issue so far.
Oh, okay.
It's more just guess. Yeah, but that's another
like
issue.
sending stuff to Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I think I've bombarded Kevin with some emails this week, but
all right. So, Mr. King, thank you for being on.
Yeah, glad to be
You
here.
know what? I look so
Always
forward.
fun shooting the shit with you.
Yeah, I really look forward every month to get on and just talk with you. Hopefully, July we actually get to go and
Have a cigar.
Look at beard oil. Okay,
Yeah.
but cognac and Cuban cigars.
Oh, you just gotta have that smell, don't you?
See, I'll do that for your head polish. Yeah. So I'll do this, and then I'll get some head polish wax or whatever. That's the exact same. We got a match.
That's right.
All right, sir.
Come out when we're having a Coke Zero and a cigar.
That would be awesome. All right. We will see you later, Kevin. Thank you again for coming on.
No problem. Take care.
All right, everybody. I hope you had. Kevin always comes on and drops tons of information. But anyways, re-listen. There's some of the things there that was talking about the analytics that you might want to, re-listen and just figure out, what he's doing. He knows his stuff. But one of the things I just want to say before we close off, he tries. He doesn't it's not a give up he keeps going. He keeps going. If he gets kicked between the legs, he gets back up, and he always takes action. And I think that's so important, is that you take action. If you hear something on this podcast, take action. So with that being said, thank you for coming on, listening, spending your time with us today. Kelsey, do you have anything to close out?
Yeah, actually, I guess May 31st will be the episode, but we started this podcast. We started doing our first Facebook Live on May 30th, I remember.
Really?
So it's almost been a full year. So just looking over the Facebook group that's happened, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has joined us along this journey. It's been a little crazy. We didn't know what to expect when we were starting this. And yeah, if you guys want to go back to the first episode and see what
please
did,
don't
please check it out.
No, don't.
Highly recommend it.
Don't.
But yeah, just want to say thank you to everyone that's joined us in the Spirit Nation. Also, we're doing this Patreon, which is a monthly subscription service. It's starting June 1st. This is something where we give you bonus content, kind of small group lessons, consultation giveaways, exclusive deals, free services, bonus Wheel of Kelsey's. There's a whole bunch of good stuff. We're doing AMAs. I'm even doing some social media AMAs and hot seats, stuff like that. So definitely go check that out. Just patreon.com/lunchwithnorm. And yeah, have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend to our American friends in the South. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend.
All right. And if you want to check out more about Kevin King and his life, which is absolutely amazing, go to I Know This Guy, the I Know This Guy podcast. and you will be amazed. He's had such an incredible life. All right. So please join us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being part of this community. We couldn't be doing this without you. And enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and happy Memorial Day.
Lunch with the